Welcome to the Ball in Our Court podcast. Cortez Paul's here alongside with Kevin Carter. Yes, we are located in Custom Cutx in Jacksonville, Florida. Beautiful here as always, ain't it, Kevin?
Yeah, that new paint smell.
New paint smell, people getting their haircuts, business is booming. So, Chris was very kind enough to invite us back into his facilities, and we're more than welcome to be here and broadcast live. And Chris is joining us shortly, so he's actually over there doing some work, giving some people some nice tape-up fades and everything.
About time he's doing some work.
So we'll catch up with him shortly, but it's always fun. But this is our second time here, so I'm glad to be back here.
Like you said, it's always fun. It's only the second time.
Yeah, I know. It's only the second time, but I'm pretty sure.
It was fun the first time.
It was fun the first time.
I had to talk a lot lower because I'm closer to the thing. So if you hear me screaming at the, what? It gets real loud.
Yes, we switched seats here. Kevin's a little bit closer to me, so.
Well, we didn't switch seats. We switched where the computer is. The computer is now closer to me. So technically we're in the same seats. But the computer is just in a different location than it normally is.
We're just trying to make sure that it's accessible for our power source that we can plug in.
Power source.
Whatever you want to call it.
Look, we got it close to the plug.
There we go. That makes sense.
There.
All right, man, let's recap some of this football week here. A little bit here. There was a lot of teams that was on bye. The Thursday game, we already talked about that. New Orleans and Carolina, that was pretty much, we ran over that. That New Orleans just stumped Carolina that
They
night.
are who we thumped.
So we'll go ahead and keep it moving and discuss the rest of the game. We got Cleveland and Tampa Bay. Cleveland 22-17.
Sneaking one out against Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Poor Tampa Bay.
What do you think, man?
Always find a new way to lose a ball game. Poor Tampa.
So now they're here to make a switch at the quarterback again. Josh McCown is going to come back and actually start for him.
If you're saying that one dude is the future of the bad part is one guy's supposed to be their future. The other guy they paid all this money to come in and play quarterback. So now you're kind of in that place where you don't want to be, where you spent too much money on a dude, but yet one of them was your future. As a rubber ball comes flying at us.
Yeah, like you said, one guy's supposed to be the future, one guy's supposed to be the present. And, so it's pretty odd to see how they're going to approach this. This is not consistent with, how you want to, you're showing all this.
Well, that's the bad part. You paid all the money to one dude, so you feel obligated to play him. But then the other guy, you're saying he's the future, so should you feel obligated to play him? So it's a lose-lose for them. They're not in a good spot when it comes to that.
So let's talk about.
Should have paid him a lot better.
Man, let's talk about Cleveland, man, because their division that they're in, even though they're the last team there, it's really close, man. I'm pulling up their records here, and when you look at the division, look at this. There's like, let's see.
Every team's over 500.
Yeah,
every team's over 500.
This is a battle, so it's kind of, I'm sorry, they're now third. They moved up, jump in front of Baltimore. But even Baltimore was leading the division at one point in time.
Yeah, I think every team in there has been, except Pittsburgh, was leading the division at one point or another.
So this sets up, because, that guy is supposed to come back soon that we're talking about.
That guy
That you got on your bench
that I've had for since they come out with the new drug program. Look, they said he's been in the facilities, he's been training, he's been doing everything he's supposed to do. He is one of, if not, when he's on the field, the best wide receivers in the NFL right now. And when Gordon comes back, Cleveland will be giving they'll have that little nudge. And I know always says one player doesn't make a team and everything like that. No, but one player can make your team a hell of a lot better.
Yeah. And
he's one of those guys that can make Cleveland a whole hell of a lot better. So it'll be interesting when he comes back. I think he's got 2 more weeks, and he'll be back. It's after Cleveland's 10th game. So
I like for him to come back, and they're still in the midst of a playoff.
Oh, they still should be. Because it's only 2 weeks away.
Right.
So they should definitely still be in the race.
I agree. So, all right, Arizona 28, Dallas 17. Dallas started
DeMarco Murray's
the
100-yard.
The course of Brandon Weeding.
Brandon Whedon.
I don't know what to say about this guy. I mean, what kind of excuses he's for a quarterback, man? I mean, I feel like sometimes I can play quarterback better than Brandon Whedon. And I can't throw the ball 5 yards away from where I'm sitting right now. So
that's not good.
No, that's not good. But that's how pretty much Brandon Whedon's playing.
That's not good. But Brandon Whedon played well when he came in relief.
Yeah,
he played well when he came in relief for Tony during the Washington game. But then Dallas all of a sudden it's implosion time for Dallas. They have that good beginning of the year. Then they have that, then it's implosion. And it happens every year for Dallas. And it's almost right around the time to where Dallas just goes, and it goes right into the tank.
So that's of proportions, though.
If they lose in London, 1, you will not get me to shut up. 2, the collapse is imminent.
I mean, how much pressure on this for Tony Romo to come back? And will you even bring him back?
I wouldn't brought him back. Number 1, I wouldn't even let him make the trip. He has a hurt back, and you put him on an 8-hour flight to where he has to sit. Number 1, that's stupid.
Yeah.
Number 2, we're going to let him play against the team. Say what you will about Jacksonville. They're 3rd in the league in sacks. 3rd. People don't stop them up front. Tony's going to take some Tony's going to take some hits. You haven't seen a quarterback play the Jaguars where he has not gone down and he has not had pressure in his face. So you're going to see it. And is he going to be able to hold up? Are we going to see Josh Whedon or Brandon Whedon or whatever Whedon?
Whatever his name is. Brandon Whedon.
I keep saying Josh Whedon because he's the one that does the damn Avenger movies. But yeah, you see him come in, and what are they going to do? Are they going to try to feed Murray the ball, whose 100-yard streak got stopped in this game?
Which you was hoping that.
Yeah, I was hoping to make it.
Yeah,
I was hoping to make it to here, and then we stop it. But we let Jeremy Hill run for over 100-something yards, so that really wasn't good. But 60 of it came on one run, so you can't really say anything.
All right, Philadelphia 31, Houston 21. Philadelphia lost that guy.
They lost Nick
Foles.
And now they got Mr. Butt Fumble himself.
Mark Sanchez.
Mark Dirty Sanchez.
And there's been reports coming out that the management feel like Foles is not the guy. What do you guys say about that as far as management saying? Like, why come at a time like this now when the guy's injured? And why this is in the news now?
What do they think? Sanchez is the guy?
I hope not.
No.
How did he do in New York?
No, he did well. He did. We all forget.
The first year he did.
We forget. He beat, not just the first year. First years. They went in the AFC Championship game twice. He beat Peyton Manning and Tom Brady in the playoff. No! In 1 year, he beat both of them in the playoff. They went to the AFC Championship game under this man. Then all of a sudden, watch the pieces fell off in New York. He fell off. Once everything started crumbling in New York is when he started crumbling. To me, he's not really that bad. Sure, he was great for being the butt of a bunch of jokes. But he really wasn't that bad. He did what he needed. He done what he needed to do in New York to keep them flowing. But New York also fell off and everything. Revis leaving. All the other stuff. Their defense was solid. And all they needed him to do was play solid, and they played defense. Now, when they didn't have no defense, that's when they all fell off. And then he just started making mistakes because the line was horrible. The playmakers were gone. It all crumbled around him. Mark Sanchez really ain't that bad of a quarterback. He's a good, serviceable quarterback. In Chip Kelly's system, he will probably thrive because it's a lot of like what he did in college. So he's going to be that up-tempo. It doesn't let... Good thing about Chip Kelly's offense is you don't have to think a lot. You just go out and play because they're so up-tempo. You just go out there and play. Sure, it may make for more mistakes, but it also makes for less mistakes. You understand what I'm saying? Because you don't have enough time to overthink anything. in it. You just go out and you just flow. And you just flow and you just flow and you just flow and you play the game.
Well, he's got weapons. He's got Zach Ertz. He's got
Jeremy Macklin,
Riley Cooper.
He's got plenty of weapons.
He's got plenty of weapons.
He's got plenty of weapons. You're hoping Darren Sproles.
Yeah, I'm hoping Darren Sproles.
He's got plenty of weapons. And now it's a lot like, their defense is suspect a little bit, but you don't have to think as much. You just go out there and play ball and just go and go and go and go and go. And that's the good thing about Chip Kelly's system.
Yeah.
Chip Kelly also thinks he can put any quarterback that's serviceable into his system and they will do well, just because of how he runs his system.
Right. All right, so we'll go ahead and Houston. I guess we'll just go. Maybe they lost. So.
They lost. They lost.
They lost.
Oh no, there's a Houston story too.
Oh yeah, Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, Fitzpatrick going to the bench after the bye week, and Ryan Mallett.
Yeah, I got traded from New England, right?
Ryan Mallett will be your starting quarterback for your Houston Texans come after the bye week. So that's going to be a good thing to look at. Got a big arm, but is he accurate? We haven't really seen a lot of him, and you can't tell because we haven't seen him at all, except for preseason, where he looks great during the preseason. Well, it's always easy to look great when you're playing a bunch of scrubs.
Well, is this guy a short-term plan, or is he really the future for you?
Well, that's what they're figuring out. Why do you think they're playing him?
They got to see what he offers.
They got it. You've got to find out what you got.
Yeah.
And if he ain't what you got, then you got the draft coming up, where you're going to have some pretty halfway decent quarterbacks coming out.
All right, so Kansas City 24, New York Jets 10.
They suck.
Jets had someone fly a plane saying "Fire Ryan." A little banner. That was
Rex Ryan's been under the gun for 6 years now.
Yeah.
At least four.
Yeah.
At least 4 years that they've been saying get rid of him. So it's nothing new to him, but I think this is his last hurrah. I really think it is. They're just a giant cluster upon themselves. And going back to what I was saying earlier, that's just what happened with the Jets. The Jets are just a cluster.
Do you think he's still a head coach in the NFL? He find a job after this? Or?
He should. He should, because bad opinion is New York ain't gave him nothing. After they had those one teams and then all those teams dissipated, he's really had nothing to work with. They went 8-8, guys. He still managed to take that team last year with Geno Smith as the quarterback to 8-8.
No said, huh?
Exactly.
All right, Cincinnati 33, Jacksonville 23.
Good game right up until the end, until he throws the interception in the end zone. It was a 3-point game. 3-point game. They throw Jacksonville throws a touchdown. The following kickoff goes out of bounds and gives Cincinnati the ball on the 40-yard line. Takes all momentum you have and just, and then you give up a 60-yard touchdown run, and after that it was over. But with 4 minutes left, we still went right down the field. And then Blake, again, doing what Blake does best, I guess. He throws another interception. He just says he was trying to throw it out of the back of the end zone. If you're throwing it out the back of the end zone, the freaking guy selling beer should have got hit with the ball. If that's where you're throwing it out of the end zone. You throw it out of the end zone. You don't hit it out of the end zone. You sling the piss out of it. You hit the cotton candy man. But it was a good game. The running game still doing halfway decent for the Jaguars. Denard Robinson almost with over 100 yards again.
My boy has been turning on the last.
He's been solid. He's been solid. Gerhardt looks a little more fresher now that he's coming in the role that he kind of had in Minnesota, where he's a third down back now and he's catching the ball. And here's what kills me: everybody in Jacksonville, Gerhardt's a bust. You're not paying him to be a number one. You're not paying him number one running back money. You're not even paying him nowhere close to number one. We gave him all that money.